If you're in your 60s or 70s, do you remember a time before dating apps? Are you still out there trying to date? Before the mid-90s, we didn't really have dating apps. Dating just wasn't that stressful. Today, dating apps and social media have changed everything. We're going to discuss some of those changes today. Hi, my name is Larry, and my channel is called Being Senior, and today we're going to talk a little bit about dating. There was a time when you could go on a dinner date and you really didn't have a lot of expectation. You didn't go out and think that, or fear that it was going to turn into a traumatic event. For many of us nowadays, it is. Now even the first date becomes an interview session, as if you're being investigated for some kind of past crimes by some investigator from the police department. If there's something you don't want to talk about, now you're told you're a liar because you're lying. You're lying by omission. On the first date, you might not even want to talk about things, but yet this is a reality for a lot of men. When you show up on your date, you better show up with a list of your accomplishments and your plans for the future. Better bring your financial portfolio with you with a full explanation about how you plan on spending your own money in your future. And on the first date, you have to decide whether you're willing to accept somebody else's list of expectations. And are we as men willing to accept that list of expectations as our new list of forced behaviors? And if that's not enough, if you don't pass the test, get ready to be condemned and ridiculed on TikTok. Be prepared to be called little boy, non-committal, or told that you're immature because you're not ready to fulfill the hopes and dreams of the woman that you only wanted just to have dinner with that night and a little companionship. After my divorce, quite honestly, what I found the most was peace. I didn't have to get up every day trying to guess what I'd done wrong. I was no longer being punished for things I didn't even understand. It was a time in my life I found that I could actually just sit back, watch TV in my underwear, and scratch myself. And I didn't have to worry about somebody telling me that that was right or that was wrong, or I needed their permission to do it. And one thing about life, once you get into your 60s and 70s, life's no longer about sex. You actually have a freedom that comes with that lower drive and not having a constant need for sex that is actually very freeing. I'm not here to tell you if women feel the same way, but I can tell you for men, that's kind of where we're at this point in time. So where am I now? Do I have someone? Do I date? What's going on at this point in time? Well, for the 15 years after my divorce, I didn't date. I found it just so freeing to be able to do whatever I want. My dog and I were very happy. We had friends, we had people that we'd eat with and we'd go places with, sometimes even on trips with. But the life free of having somebody to tell us what to do all the time was wonderful. I know I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't have to make excuses. I didn't have to give explanations. It was very relaxing and fulfilling time of my life. And in a way it still is. I do have somebody now. It wasn't somebody I met on an app. It wasn't somebody that I planned to meet. She wasn't looking, I wasn't looking. We had both become whole people on our own. Neither one of us was looking for anybody else. When I met Janet, she didn't have a list of things she was expecting from me. I didn't have a list of things I was expecting from her. First time we had dinner together, it was just that. It was dinner. There was no interrogation. There were no lists of demands. We just had dinner. We just talked. It just turned out to be a good time. It wasn't about demands. It wasn't about, I didn't just tell her what things I didn't like about today's modern women. She didn't talk to me about her hate for men and how every man she ever knew in her life had done her wrong. We just had dinner. We just talked. We chatted. It wasn't about revenge or how to get even with past spouses. And it was so nice. It was just pleasant. And over time, on the first time we had dinner, it wasn't about our expectations for our future. It was just about that night. We didn't even go out to a fancy place. We just had dinner. She lives right across the hall from me. She came over to my home, my house, and I cooked for her. It was just a relaxing, pleasant experience. We didn't even go out on our first car date for probably 3 months after that. We just spent some time getting to know each other. We didn't demand that the other one coughed up every negative experience they'd had in their life. We didn't have anything except the only thing we were working towards was being friends. That was it. We didn't have anything more than that. Now, after a couple of years, of course, things have grown, and we found out that we have so much in common. It was almost freaky. We have so much in common. But we looked for commonalities. We didn't look for differences. We didn't look for flaws. We both have flaws. I'm sure that we could find some differences if we looked for them. But quite honestly, we haven't found any, nor have we been looking for them. And after 2 years, I'm probably closer to Janet than I've ever been to another human being in my life. I find her to be so refreshing, and she's just a loving, caring individual. She doesn't yell, she doesn't scream, she doesn't get mad, she's never raised her voice, and neither have I. And it is so relaxing to be around somebody like that. Our politics are actually completely identical. Our religious beliefs are completely identical. And we never had to force anything. If I didn't meet Janet, if she didn't meet me, we'd probably be right where we were before. We're both whole people and fine. We didn't need someone else to make us feel complete. And we weren't looking for somebody else to blame. If they decided to leave, we never felt we had to blame somebody. We just let things go naturally, and it seems we're two people at the right time, the right place, and we found each other. Now, I can't tell you how to find somebody if you're looking for somebody. I never was looking for somebody, and Janet never was looking for somebody. We're whole people on our own. And I hope for you that you find that kind of freedom before you ever really even consider going out and dating. If you're dating to find somebody to complete you, I really don't know how you're ever going to find anybody. Criticism is easy to come by. It's actually, some people just seem to have a knack for it. It's unbelievable to me how critical most people are. So anyway, that's kind of my view on dating and what's going on at this point in time. And what you're going to do is going to have to be up to you. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to act. I can't tell you where to be. But if you're not a whole person, you're probably not going to find much luck out there, and you're probably never going to be happy. If you can't be happy on your own, somebody else is not going to be the factor that actually causes you to find that happiness. Happiness is not found in someone else. It's only found within yourself. So anyway, that's it for today's message. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you had a good time. I thank you for being here. If you'd like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful. And if you don't, that's okay too. Anyway, thank you for joining me for today, and hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time around. Bye for now.